Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing another installment of my #1 favorite product from 10 different makeup brands. I did this a couple of months ago and you guys loved it, and I asked if you wanted me to do 10 more brands, and overwhelmingly you guys said yes. So here we are. I have 10 new brands. I will link the first installment of this video below. This idea was started, I believe, by Jen Phelps. That's where I got the idea. So I will also link her videos down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, the first brand is Joa Beauty. And you can find Joa Beauty at CVS. Most CVS have a kind of usually end cap or a smaller section where they display Joa Beauty. And there are so many gems from this brand. But my #1 favorite product from them has to be this brow pencil. This has become one of my favorite brow pencils, period. I have mine in the shade medium brown. It's what I use to fill in my brows today. It's not too dark, it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's the perfect color. It comes with a spoolie. There's usually a top on this, but I've lost mine. It has this really pretty kind of sky blue packaging and then a gold top. It's a super precise tip, very comparable to like the NYX Micro Brow Pencil or the L'Oreal Micro Brow Pencil. Same size as those. But this just goes on with the perfect consistency. It's not too pigmented, it's not pigmented enough. It blends beautifully with the spoolie. I feel like it's super underrated. A lot of people don't talk about this when they're talking about the best brow pencils, and it should definitely be in the running. So if you haven't checked out Joa Beauty, I feel like this should be your flagship product to check out the brand. Right, next up is No7 Cosmetics. If you had asked me 6 months ago, I probably would have gone with their brow pencil as well because it's one of my favorites. But they recently launched this new product, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know what I'm about to say. It has just taken the cake for me, and it's the NYX Lip Lingerie liquid lipstick. I thought I was done with liquid lipstick. I thought that ship had sailed, and then this came out and it's just so good. It's so incredible. I want to get some more colors for fall and winter because you know it's not going anywhere. It's going to be super long lasting, but it's also not going to look drying or cakey on your lips in any way. I have this in the shade Flaunt It, and it has been a favorite of mine ever since I purchased it. It is a matte liquid lipstick, but it doesn't look like one. It doesn't look super drying, or what we think of when we think of matte liquid lipsticks, like the original NYX Lip Lingerie, which is very, very matte, kind of stripping to the lips, kind of drying. This is not. I don't know what they put in this. It's magic potion. It gives you that longevity, it gives you the long wear, but it also looks like lipstick. Especially if you do, I definitely recommend doing a thin layer of this. If you build it up a lot, you're gonna get that cakey, dry, cracked look just because there's so much product on your lips. But with this, you don't need a whole lot. It's super pigmented, it's very thin in consistency, and a little bit goes a long way. So this has become my #1 favorite product from NYX. Although shout out to their brow pencil, the marshmallow primer. There's so many great products from NYX, but this one takes the cake for me. All right, next up is Colourpop, and I have so many products that I love from Colourpop. Surprisingly, I didn't go with an eyeshadow palette. I thought for sure my answer to this question was gonna be an eyeshadow palette. But when I dug through my collection, I feel like the thing that I use the most from Colourpop on a daily basis, super consistently, is their blushes. And this one definitely stood out to me. This is their cheek palette in Cookie Cluster. These palettes come with 3 different blushes and then a highlighter. The highlighter is the same consistency as their Super Shock highlighters. It's almost got that cream highlighter feel, and the best way to apply it is definitely with your fingers. So stunning. And then my favorite color in this palette is this one right here. I love a good warm toned blush, and this one has a slight sheen running through it, so it's been one of my summer go-to shades. These are pigmented but also buildable. You can get a sheer wash of color with this, but you can also build it up quite a bit. My favorite way to apply these is just with an angled blush brush. I'm just gonna put a little bit on top of the blush color I'm wearing right now so you guys can see how beautiful this is. It just gives your face so much life, and the shades in this palette specifically are just absolutely to die for. All right, next up is BH Cosmetics, and I struggled with this one because there are a lot of products that I like from BH Cosmetics, but one purchase from them has been my hands down favorite for over a year now. I've made a video on just this product, and it is the Marble Luxe Brush Collection. This has just stood the test of time for me. I made a video all about this brush collection that I will link down below if you want to see every single brush that's included in the collection, how to use them, etc. But this has been my favorite purchase by far from BH Cosmetics. They make some amazing brushes. but this brush collection just checks every box. Whenever I get asked what is one brush collection that I can buy that will have me covered from start to finish of my makeup, I always point people towards this one. It is on the pricier side because you're getting so many brushes, but per brush it's super, super affordable. So if you don't want to have to go find every single brush that you need, like go find a foundation brush, a concealer brush, eyeshadow brushes, and buy them all individually, you just want to be like one and done, this is the set to buy. Not only do they feel super high-end and soft, but they are beautiful to look at. They've got this marble base, a rose gold top, and then a little bit of an ombre effect with like a dark charcoal gray, and then it goes all the way up to white. So this just looks beautiful sitting on your vanity. I probably use at least one brush from this collection every time I do my makeup, and I just can't say enough about the collection as a whole. All right, next up is No7, and this was hard because I really love No7. It's one of my favorite brands ever. Their products are so high-end feeling, so high-end looking. I love so much from them. But if I had to pick one product, I'm gonna have to go with their pressed powder. I talked about this in my last video. This is just stunning. This gets really hyped up all over social media, on YouTube, and it deserves all the hype that it gets. If you have trouble with setting your concealer underneath your eyes, that's specifically what I love about this. This is the powder for you. It sets it so beautifully, but in such a light way. You can't even see a trace of powder underneath your eyes. It just looks airbrushed and it stays all day long, and it's very mature skin friendly. So if you have fine lines under your eyes, I know I do, and you're not 16 anymore, you can't get away with just using any powder under your eyes because it's gonna look crusty, it's gonna look cakey, and this product largely fixes that problem. So if you're still using the same powder all over your face and you never like the way that your under eyes look, give this one a try. This will brighten up your under eyes and not make them look too dry or powdery. It's just an excellent product. All right, next up is Catrice, and I feel like if I had to only use one brand of foundation ever again, I would probably go with Catrice. These two foundations are incredible, the True Skin and their HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the OG, this one. This is also a dupe for the Fenty Matte Foundation if you've been wanting to try that. This just lasts so long. It is matte, but not too matte. It dries down to more of a semi-matte natural finish, but the coverage you get out of this, the staying power you get out of this is insane, especially if you have oily skin and you don't want to look flat. You don't want to look so matte that there's no dimension, there's no youthfulness to your skin. It claims to have a second skin effect, and I definitely would agree with that. It has a dropper style applicator, which somehow doesn't get super messy, like the L'Oreal Serum Foundation gets really messy. This one does not. The packaging is like this frosted glass, feels really high-end and luxurious. If I'm gonna be somewhere where I want good coverage, I want longevity, and I'm gonna go for more of a full glam type of look, this has been my go-to, especially with my combination skin. So definitely my top pick from Catrice, although I love the whole True Skin line. All right, next up is Burts Bees. And again, if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have been like, that's easy, hands down, the blush. The Toasted Cinnamon, I believe it's called, blush, has been a favorite of mine for years. They recently launched this cream eyeshadow. This is the Color Nurture Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Rose Cream. And this has quickly taken its spot. This is absolutely stunning. I've spoken about this before, and it's such a low maintenance product. You can just apply this all over your lid with your finger, throw some bronzer in your crease, and you have a full eyeshadow look that's not going anywhere, and it just gives like a wetness look to your lids. Definitely one of the best cream eyeshadow formulas, and my #1 favorite product from Burt's Bees. All right, next up is LA Girl, and I had a lot of trouble with this one because I love a lot of LA Girl products. I love the price point of LA Girl. So many of their products are so affordable, like their concealer, so many good ones. But this product stands out to me in my makeup collection as a whole, as one of my staples, and it's the LA Girl Hey Hey Vacay palette. This comes with so many different eyeshadows. This is what I am wearing today. The pan sizes are huge. You're getting a ton of product. It has a massive mirror, which I like. It's like heavy feeling. It doesn't feel cheapy or plasticky. And they launched this for summer, Hey Hey Vacay, but I actually feel like it's more of a fall color story. Like, I'm excited to use this a lot in the fall because they almost look like the colors of the leaves when they're changing. But you can also kind of see a sunset in this as well. So I feel like it's a really versatile palette for all of the seasons. One of my absolute favorite eyeshadow palettes ever. All right, next up is Makeup Revolution, another one I struggled with because I have so many products that I love from them. When I made myself pick, I went with their Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer with Vitamin C. So I have this in the shade Light as well as the shade Deep Caramel. And this is a perfect kind of like highlight contour situation. I love this concealer for contouring. You can get really precise. The shade is beautiful and it blends out really nicely. If you have really dry skin, you may not love it as much because it does set down pretty quickly and you need to blend it out pretty fast after you apply it. And if you have really dry patches, it will stick to that. But if you have normal to oily skin, this is a really great long-lasting contour product. And I didn't like the concealer when I first tried it because the coverage just isn't there. But kind of postpartum and days where I am not wearing any makeup, this is something I can easily get away with putting up underneath my eyes and just giving them a little bit of brightness without it looking like I'm wearing any makeup at all. This is not like your full coverage, full glam concealer, but it's like a no makeup type of day. So it's a really versatile product. I like that you can use the same product in multiple ways, and I just find myself reaching for these all the time. All right, 2 more brands to go. The next is Almay. And when I think of the product I've reached for by far the most, it's definitely this lipstick formula. This is the Lip Vibes lipstick in the shade 120 Go Wild. It's what I have on right now. It's a really wearable nude. I absolutely love this shade. It's kind of mauve-y, but mostly just nude. It's a matte lipstick, but it feels so creamy on the lips. It dries down pretty matte, but it doesn't look drying. You can tell between my NYX Lingerie and this one. When I go for more matte, long-lasting lipsticks, I don't want them to look cakey and dry. That's what freaks me out when it comes to matte lipsticks. I don't want that at all. So when I find formulas that give you that staying power, that matte kind of look without it looking too dry, I am immediately obsessed, and this definitely checks that box. So not only the formula, but the color on this one is the reason I love it so much. All right, and then last but not least is Neutrogena. Non-makeup, I'm going with my Neutrogena Hydro Boost, hands down my most repurchased product probably ever. But in terms of makeup, I'm gonna go with their Radiant Cream Concealer. This reminds me of the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer, named very similarly. It does remind me of that in terms of its consistency, but it's a little bit more on the liquidy side. I have mine in the shade Light 2, and it's the perfect shade. It's got a little bit of a cool undertone to it, so it does a really good job of canceling out the blueness underneath my eyes because it's a little bit pinky. This has peptides and antioxidants in it. This is a solid medium coverage. This is not going to be your full coverage concealer, but it's going to give you a really nice everyday type coverage. This has carried me through pregnancy and postpartum, so it's good for dry, normal, and oily skin. Super versatile and pairs really nicely with this No7 powder. And that is everything. Those are my #1 favorite products from 10 more brands. I'm sure we could keep this going as long as we wanted to because there are so many brands now. So let me know what other brands you want me to do in my next installment of this, and if you want to see a next one. But if you enjoyed this one and you enjoy these types of videos, give this one a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.